Hey guys, welcome to another recap of American Idol. It's the auditions. They are continuing. So Steven Tyler is pretty spicy. They had to put a little disclaimer at the front of the show. I'm sure it was not serious. It was more of a gag, but yeah, he likes to curse. Are you surprised? I'm not. Alright, so they're in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas has a reputation for being out there. And I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed with the amount of kooks. I thought it would be a lot more, but let's go through the auditions. Levoy was up first. His backstory was that he didn't meet his sister until he was 16 and she was 14. I don't think they had different parents. You know, they had it was like a half-brother, half-sister type situation. So now they're best friends. That's cool. It's a great story. He did his audition. He was okay. He had a J-Lo booty though, and if you got a J-Lo booty, you're going through to Hollywood, so that was a yes for him. Hollie Cavanagh up next. When she said she was going to sing At Last, you know, the old Etta James Curse of Death, when they say they're going to sing that, I thought, I hope it's good, because most of the time it is not. But she wasn't horrible. I mean, she wasn't like the worst one to be up there. I've seen them put through people of her caliber no problem before, but she cried, you know, after Randy said no, and they said, okay, well, we'll give you another shot, and she sang some other song, and they said it was like such a reversal of fortune that, you know, Randy changed his no to a yes, and blah. I don't think so, you know. I think there was a real lack of backstory this audition go round, but it was a yes for her. Then Rodolfo, Ochoa, Circle of Life, really? When you say you're going to sing the Circle of Life, it might as well just be a no, and it was. No shortage of cowboys who can't sing in Austin, Texas, but this next one could. His name was John Wayne Shulz. They named him John Wayne because the dad wanted a real rough and tumble cowboy for a son. So there was the old joke on, well, if Ryan was the guy's son, he would have been disappointed. But the guy, it was pretty funny actually, without even knowing it, said, if you were my son, you wouldn't be like this. That was hilarious. Oh my God. All right, so this cowboy, his mom's a cancer survivor. She wanted to go on the show to audition. He promised her he'd do it, and now he's doing it. And I thought he was really great. I'm just a little bit worried about him though, because he seemed like really naive, and this business is not for the naive. I mean, he might have the talent, but I don't know if he's got the chutzpah, you know what I'm saying? So it was a yes for him. Day 2, can you believe day 1 was only like what, like 4 auditions that they highlighted? I thought that was really, really slim. All right, day 2, Courtney Penry. She's 17. And she has a sickness. And her sickness is that she is obsessed with Ryan Seacrest. She's going to marry him someday. I don't know if that's possible, but there might be some medication you could take for that. I don't know. At first she imitated a chicken, and then she sang. She was okay. I mean, she's definitely got the chutzpah that the guy before her didn't have, the John Wayne guy, but I don't know. She's only 17. She's young. We'll see what happens. All right, then there was a trio of yeses. Shauntel, Campos, Alex Carr, Caleb Johnson. I thought they were all really good. Apparently no backstories, though. Only half the package. Although, who knows? Maybe they have some interesting stories and they just didn't have time to tell them. Because all of these other ones were just so interesting. Although the next one was pretty interesting. Jacqueline, Dunford, and Fink. They're a couple. They're American Idol lovers, but they're in love with each other. Well, guys, we met in choir in community college, and it was a whole Glee romance kind of thing. Showed a little bit too much making out for my taste for American Idol. But I thought they were really surprisingly great. And they had 2 pretty different styles. If anybody had a J-Lo booty, it was her, and I'm surprised they didn't even mention that, but I guess that's not cool to say that about a girl. So it was a yes and a yes for them. I'm interested to see how these two do in the next round. All right, Janelle Artur. Her family came. Great backstory. She had like no backstory, but they highlighted her. This whole Austin auditions, like I said before, a real lack of backstory going on here. Actually, almost boring. It was a yes for her, by the way. Then they had a little montage kicked off by a lady in an armadillo costume, a crazy lady in a bird type costume. Then there was a whole lot of bad singing and camera slapping going on up in her. All right, so then the last audition of the day. And you know the formula on American Idol is that the last audition of the day has to be phenomenal. So they showed this guy, Casey Abrams. He's 19 years old. For crying out loud, he looked like Seth Rogen and a young Rob Reiner had a baby. He's carrying around a melodica. He sounds a little nuts. But then he opens his mouth and he sings, and I'm like, oh, I could see why they saved this guy for last, because he was phenomenal. He pulled out some scatting. I closed my eyes for 2 seconds. I thought, ooh, Steven Tyler's son. But he was amazing, and they knew it, and they all danced around at the end, and he got a big yes. So good job for the last audition of Austin. All right, next time, kids, buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be LA. If you thought Austin was weird, not really. LA's got to be weirder than that. More weird. Till next time, much love.